Thank you for joining me on the Endless Mountain Network. My name is Derek and this is the 17th of March. This video is all about some predictions, some past ones, some future ones. I'm going to try to go through this very quick because this is like the 7th or 8th take of this video and the last ones have just been way too long. So I'm first off going to say that my past predictions, I've had some that have been right, some that have been wrong. I was talking about stock market crash or falls last year, a head and shoulders pattern in the Dow that would bring it down to 8,000 in October. Well, that was exactly right. An increase in volatility coming in for September, October, that was right. And a decrease of volatility going into November, December. And in November, December, that was correct. Unemployment rate going a lot higher, that was a no-brainer. Mayan calendar saying there's going to be a surplus of truth on the internet, that was a no-brainer. Some stuff that was wrong, obviously election getting canceled or Bush staying in somehow, that was wrong. Grocery stores running out of emergency item foods in like late October into November last year, that was wrong. Still think that's a matter of when and not if. The UFO, October 14th, do you remember that? Although I was saying that it was just a possibility, that there was a chance of a viral thing, although I'm going to say the same thing then that I did now, it's a matter of when and not if that the aliens come to our planet to help us out. That is a matter of when. And Dow Jones, 10,000, this time like March, April of 2009 is something I said at the end of 2008, started 2009, and I was wrong there. So those are the predictions. A lot of my past videos are down. Remember, if you want to download any of my videos, please feel free to. V Downloader has it. Do a Google search for V Downloader. And there's other programs out there too. Also, not just my videos, but everyone's videos. Because, not everyone's, but every video that you like, that you think you need to keep. Store them on your hard drive, store them on CDs, store them on USB drives, whatever. So, now let's talk about what some future events are possibly going to happen. The easiest event to say is that there's going to be massive change, like change you could never imagine, and change you can imagine that you think could never be possible, that will be possible. Stuff of that nature there, especially in the year 2012, 2013. A lot of these predictions are going to be Mayan calendar based, and mainly based on the economic situation and the change of ages from the fear to the love-based age. That's where my predictions are going to mainly stem from. Let's talk about some earlier ones that are going to happen, I think, very soon. Don't be surprised to see more truth, not only on YouTube, but even on the mainstream media. Slowly but surely, bit by bit, more and more truth. Just like we're seeing people like Glenn Beck, Gerald Celente on there, more and more like that. 2012, this issue about 2012, my prediction last year was around the fall of this year that 2012 will become mainstream. I don't know about time, but sometime this 2012 stuff will be mainstream. And a lot of the doubters of 2012 who thought it was the end of the, didn't think it was the end of the world, who were saying, remember Y2K, remember 6/6/2006, who are just saying that it's not going to happen. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to really start to say more about the end of the world. There's going to be a lot of more people that are going to see it as the ascension shift. They're going to say everything. A lot more people are going to be more aware to 2012, and everyone's going to have a different perception to what it is. That's probably one of the easier predictions to make based on that. As far as the economy is concerned, stock market crash, once again, I just think it's a matter of when and not if the Dow Jones falls below 2,000 inflation adjusted for today's dollars, in my opinion. It's just a matter of when. Whether it's later this year, whether it's next year, I don't know. I mean, a complete collapse is in order. Will this be the end of the stock market? Maybe. Will they find a way to fix the stock market? Well, the only way the stock market's going to continue in 2020 is if they can find a way to make a stock market work out of the frequency of love. That's the only way that I can see it happening. What way that would be, I don't know, because I don't know of a way. But I'm sure there has to be ways for it to continue on. So, yeah, a collapse is almost guaranteed. I mean, I'm not going to get into details on why, because you know, a lot of you know the reasons why. If you don't, give me a message. I'll give you links. Okay, so anyway, that's basically happening. The dollar collapse, that's a matter of when and not if. And how, that's another matter. I don't like. The best way of predicting how is because more people are getting this truth every day, and people are going to be like, we're not going to take it anymore type thing. And at some point, they're not going to take it anymore. You can say some sort of revolution is going to happen. How the revolution takes place, I'm not going to get into. But a revolution where people are just not going to be accepting the dollar as much. What that means for the dollar and inflation, we'll see. I don't know. But nonetheless, people are not going to be accepting the dollar, which means a movement to a possible barter system. And a barter system trading goods for goods. I mentioned this on the paper Ponzi. I'm not going to get into more details on that. but that's pretty much where I see it going. Last year I thought there was like over 93% chance of this system. Now it's upgraded to like 98, 99%. So I really highly believe a trading system like a barter system, good for goods, is really going to be coming into play. As far as a new currency is concerned, that's speculation. You've heard about the Amero. Whether that happens or not, I would doubt it, but once again, you never know. And then even if we do have a new currency, how long will it last? Will it last, I mean, will people just say no right off the bat to it? Because the energies are going to be so much different. There's another prediction right now. Major energy changes. More and more energy that's available to us, which is what the Mayans are talking about, which is why I think 2012 and 2013 are going to be godlike years. I mean, stuff we just can't imagine happen are going to happen. I mean, this is conscious co-creation, understanding yourself as a creator. It's up to you if you want to believe yourself as a creator, but nonetheless, I think by 2012 you probably will. And whatever you are here to create, you're going to create, whether it's negative stuff or whether it's positive stuff. So there's going to be a lot of bad stuff happening, but there's going to be more percentage-wise of good stuff happening based on the energy of fear to love, because I really do believe 2012 is a rapture. And that would mean a return to Christ. Does it mean I think Christ is going to come back in physical form like he did 2,000 years ago? I would guess no, but I'm not ruling it out. I do believe it's a return of his consciousness, meaning you will feel him some way, somehow. You're going to feel him. You're going to feel like you might know him. Maybe you'll feel like you were part of him. I don't know, but you're going to feel him some way or another. And I do believe that from here on in, meaning 2013 here on in, he is going to be the energy in charge. In a sense, Satan's energy in charge up until 2012, Christ's energy up until the end of infinity, heaven, if you will. And that is where I think I'm going to be going on. That's where I think it's going to be going on this whole ordeal, is an energy of that coming into play. So, I mean, you look back at some stuff that's happened in the past. 9/11, wars in Afghanistan, starving people in Africa, a monetary system which is making so many people depressed, poor, starving. Systems that are just out of fear and negativity. Now, would Christ consciousness really want that to happen? Just really tell me. If you really think we're not in the dark ages, just think of what's happened and then let me know. So obviously this is stuff that would be more Satanism, if you will. And so what this means to me is a lot of bad stuff is going to be happening. Majority bad stuff is happening at this time, but there's going to be good stuff that will still happen, which means post-2012, the majority of the stuff should be good stuff because Christ's energy will be in charge, but still bad stuff into play because the energy of Satan, I don't think, is going to die. It's just going to be preceded as far as majority, as far as energy considered. Because I look at it this way, I'm predicting that right now it's about 43-ish% of all energies that we have are positive ones, and 57 are that of negative. So once that 2012 rapture happens, shift in consciousness, whatever you want to call it, it's like a 50-50 mark. And I'm predicting that the spiritual energies are going to be like basically going to each other and meeting up with each other. So at the 2012, you are going to, for a very quick period of time, it makes a lot of sense how you're going to know everything your spirit is supposed to know. Not everything total, but everything that your consciousness knows. You will know everything at that point. You will understand others better than you'll ever understand. And you know what? You're going to most likely forget a lot of that information as we move forward. So a lot of stuff that in December of 2012 that you're going to know is going to be forgotten days, weeks, months, seconds, minutes later. It's going to all be forgotten. And it has to be. It's part of what I feel is the game in which the universe has us to play. It may sound very crazy, and you know what? We'll just keep the, if you think it's crazy, take it with a grain of salt, and then when we'll see how close, how far off my predictions are, because these predictions are maintainable within only a few years from now. So we'll see mainly how that plays out. So we're seeing the death pains as far as I'm concerned right now. This could mean stuff like weather effects that are getting worse. Obviously a hunger situation. And then, of course, if people are going to be doing godly-like things, that means people are going to be doing godly-like things for both positive and negative things, and that's going to create what could, I don't know what it could create. I'm just going to get away from that part. So now, 2012, post that time, that to me is like the return of the Christ energy. How you feel Christ, we will not know. Myself, I'm going to feel everything, because my whole feeling as far as what I see God as is binary. So whatever you see God as, you should see that conceptually in 2012, 2013, in my opinion. I see God as ones and zeros, as binary. So I'm going to see a bunch of ones and zeros in a binary sense in 2012, 2013, because that's who I am. I'm a binary guy. I think like a computer, ones and zeros type deal. So that's where I think I'm going to be moving towards, but everyone's going to be different, and that's what's going to be unique. Everything is going to have different situations, so that's why it's almost impossible to try to predict what's going to move forward. Now, I want to quickly go on the post-2012 stuff. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think it's the end of the world for negative energy. I think it's the end of the world for Satan's realm. I think it's the end of the Dark Ages. That's where I think we're going, the end of the world as we know it. I use the law of polarity, all the universal laws. The law of polarity that's the only thing I'm going on. Well, not the only thing, but it's one of the main things I'm going on. The law of polarity would say that we're going to have a complete opposite to what we had. So the opposite to what we're having now is going to happen post-2012. And everything's been negative with some positive, so everything's going to be positive with some negative. That's the opposite, in my opinion. So that's where I think we're going to be going. I think the monetary system that we're talking about, how we're going from the barter system, I think we will go to the Venus Project, what the zeitgeist is talking about with a resource-based economy. I think we're going to move towards that. I'm not going to talk about the resource-based economy too much because I think if you want to know more about it, please watch Zeitgeist Addendum and Zeitgeist Movement. They really explain it very well, a heck of a lot better than I can explain it anyway. And everything that I've felt is actually in that movie. So that is where I think we're going to be going for economy, is that type of movement there. As far as post-2012 predictions, like 2014, 2015, a brand new set of truths are going to really start to pop up. I don't know what these truths are going to be. It's going to be the frequency of love. But what they're going to be, we're going to find out then. And a new industrial revolutionary age from about 2025 to about 2275 or so. There's going to be a massive creation, and the opposite of what the last one was, in the sense that the last one was done out of fear, this one will be done out of love. So whatever that happens to transpire to, a lot of it's going to be done on the resource-based economy, but how far they go up, it's going to most likely be pretty far as far as technology is concerned. Technology is at the baby stages, and we're going to see a lot more of it. At least that's what I'm predicting. Another thing that I'm predicting too is that right around the time of 2050 to 2060, that is where the new age children that are being born around this time, who are been known as being highly loving beings as far as energy is concerned. A lot of people call them indigos, stars, and crystal children. These people will now be between 50, 60 years old at that time. So they will be in office politically, and this culturally, they'll have a lot of say to where the world goes. So if there's any of this bad stuff that may happen, they talk about the chip that may come into play. Well, of course, all this stuff that happens is going to be evil at first, but it's all going to work for the betterment. I am actually for like a chip or a card type thing, in the sense that, yes, it may be evil at the start, but when it's all said and done, I think it's going to work out very well, because we're moving to that beautiful frequency. I do highly believe in a golden age. I believe in an age of peace, an age of love for quite a while time. The reason why is because the shift in consciousness and the fact that Christ's energy is going to be in charge. I don't think Christ's energy wants 911 attacks. I think Christ's energy wants love, because that's what Christ was all about. Christ was all about loving yourself, loving others, and doing unto others what you do unto yourself. And people are going to love each other more. When they love each other more, they're going to love others more. They're going to love the world more. And I'm just highly believing that right now. Extremely highly believing that. I'm not going to get to any other mind predictions on this video, because I'm almost 14 minutes into this video. I'm going to cut her off now. So thank you all for watching it. Peace and light. If you have any questions, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't talk about because I didn't want to make it too long, give me a message down here, a video response or a personal message. And thank you very much. Peace and light, and have yourself a magnificent day, everyone. Bye-bye.